Hello, world. You are watching Archie Television, and I am your host, Lawrence Archie. Welcome, returning viewers. Welcome, new viewers. You're watching the first installment to a four-part tutorial series where we will model, rig, texture, etc. When last I left you, we started modeling our teeth, and here in this tutorial, we will move forward with that process and we will continue texturing our teeth. So without further ado, let's jump right in here and let's begin to model our teeth, texture our teeth. First off, I want to get a quick look at what was the last thing we did when me and you guys were together. Let's come back in here into our 3D view. Let's see where we want to go with this. Let's come in here. Let's with our first material selected, let's hit select so we can see which set of the model we're looking at, be it the gums or the teeth, because at this point I want to go in and I want to actually delete what we had set up for the teeth, and we want to keep what we have set up for the gums, and we want to come in here and we want to add another texture, and we want to name that teeth. And from here we want to come in here and add our mix shader. The reason I came in here and I deleted our old teeth shader is because the technique that I'm going to use is going to be a extremely simple technique. It's going to be an extremely easy method. I don't want to go too much in depth with Node Editor, not in my first tutorial series. I want to give that a little bit of time for you guys to allow me, my voice, and my way of thinking, my techniques to marinate, but before we get too deep into the how you say possibilities of Blender. So with our mix shader chosen, let's come in here, let's add a diffuse, and let's add a glossy so we can get that slight reflective look to our model. So at this point, let's say add our factoid to 0.025. So the diffuse color, the diffuse will be the most prominent. I can demonstrate if I hit the render key. Let me tab back into edit, or escape back to edit mode. If I hold Control, hit Alt and 0, wherever my camera is facing, that's where I will set my active camera. So with that done, let's come in here and let's hit F12 so I can get an idea where my camera will be positioned. At this point, I want to come in here and I want to add, I want to Control S, Shift S, excuse me, and I want to have my center, my cursor centered, and I want to select my model, and I want to come down here and I want to rotate around the 3D cursor. I'm coming here and I want to Shift A, I want to add a mesh, I want to add a plane, I want to pull this plane forward. Hit 3 on my numpad to come in the sideward facing view. R, rotate. Let's undo that. Let's set this to an active element. Let's rotate that 90 degrees. Let's come back in here and turn our active element back to our 3D cursor. Let's come into our topward view and let's hit R to rotate that, say 945 degrees, so we can have us a light source. Let's render that out, see what that looks like. Oh, let's add an admission to that. Come in here, add us a texture. Let's turn our diffuse to an admission. Now let's render that. Let's come out of here, go back into edit mode, and let's play with the factor just a little bit. Let's bump that up to 0.25. And let's render that. The best way for me to explain what the factoid does between the diffuse and the glossy shader is probably the best example to use, because if you bump our factoid up to say 9 and you render that, okay, so what we need to do at this point is we need to come in here with teeth selected. We need to hit assign. Yeah, I'm making all these changes and it's not necessarily doing anything because I haven't set these faces to this group teeth, this material group teeth. So with that selected, I hit F12, I can come in here and I can demonstrate our chrome fronts that we just created. And if we come back out of here and we tone this back down to 0.025 and we give that a render, you can see the difference between having it set at 9 with the strength of the glossy shader is the most dominant. It overpowers the diffuse. It takes control of how the render is rendered. If we set that to 5, okay, is it 0.5? Because I believe the highs should be able to go as 1. I'm not sure why that is. But let's delete that. Let's 0.5. Give that a render. Here down in the middle is evenly shaded. It has 50% the diffuse and 50% glossy, but we want the diffuse to be more prominent, so we can get that white specular to come through. So let's set it way back down 0.025 so we can get that shiny teeth white look coming through. So at this point, let's go up to our gums. I have these dimensions preset. We want to set this to HSV. On our H, we want to set it to 0.039. 0.039, enter. Let's come down to our S. Let's hit 0.55. Let's come down to our V and let's hit 0.8 for 0.800. Let's give that a render. And now you guys can see that our gums and our teeth begin to take shape. We can come in here and we can say bump this up to say 0.15, 0.150. Let's give that a render. So we can get that specular on the teeth to really start to shine through. At this point, you guys, I consider this video to be complete. I just wanted to demonstrate modeling our teeth and texturing our teeth. I want to leave an entire video. Dedicated to modeling the texturing the remainder of the body. With that, I'm going to leave you with my motto: if you're going to dream, dream big. And as always, good night, world.